All right, so I'm now recording. I'm going to mute everybody. Okie dokie. All right, so this is Nick Jackson. So this is our, guess I didn't mute everybody. Cool. So this is our kickoff for just the start of the new year for January 2019. So, first we'll just start with some announcements. Is that we have a Team Elite University on January 18th to the 19th. That's going to be in Provo, Utah, at Nu Skin's headquarters. And this is a free training that's done 9 times a year. And this is going to be a very, very special one, though. We have a lot of teams that don't usually, that in the last 2 years straight that I've been going to Team Elite University that haven't been there. So we have a lot of really successful Team Elites, 10, 20 plus $1 million earners that, don't usually come to Team Elite University, but that are bringing their teams to this one. And so you're going to be able to hear from, obviously we always get to hear from Jeff Mack and Brent Bryson, but you're going to be able to get to hear from, loads of other people on that level, people that have built organizations of tens of thousands of people, earn tens of millions of dollars. There's going to be a special goal setting segment where they're actually, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Anybody?
You've been breaking up a bit, but we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry about that. My internet hasn't been real great. Okay. Thanks, Landina. All right. So basically, to summarize this, we're going to have a very special Team Elite University in January of this year. And there's going to be a special goal setting segment. There's going to be a chance for you to be able to get FaceTime and interact and network with people that have been in Nu Skin for 10, 20, 30 plus years that have earned, 10, 20, 30 plus $1 million in the business. People that you don't normally see, for those of you guys that are regulars coming to Team Elite University. There's going to be a lot of people there. I know personally of people coming from all over the U.S. and some people coming from outside the U.S., from Canada and different places. So, the seating is going to be limited. Like the room is going to be completely jam-packed and full. There is going to be a dinner on Friday night. It's $15 per person for dinner. And that's going to be a really special time to be able to network and be able to actually go and sit down at these tables with some of the most successful network marketers in the whole world and be able to pick their brain and ask them questions and, be able to branch out bigger, beyond just, our team and be able to really, learn from some of the best people in the world at this business. So secondly, so the book of the month that we're going to do for the month of January, it's called You Are a Badass at Making Money. Master the Mindset of Wealth. So a lot of you guys have read the book You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, which is has become a #1 bestseller. Like when I travel and things, like it's always listed as in like the top 1, 2, 3 books nationwide in the airports, and kind of a just amazing personal development book. And so this one, You're a Badass at Making Money, it's one I probably listened to 5 times now, just on Audible. So I recommend you guys download it, get it, buy the book, but start reading it because you need to work on your mindset around your relationship with money and your ability to earn money. And this book is going to help you guys do that, to really adopt how do the most wealthy and successful people think, and be able to start changing the way you think, to be able to reach the goals that you have. So, okay, so now into our training. Maybe someone dropped me a message, let me know if you can hear me. Good. So I want to talk about how I became a Blue Diamond in 9 months. And just to put some perspective into place, I signed up with Nu Skin about 6.5 years ago. Okay, so my hitting Blue Diamond in 9 months was really more like me hitting Blue Diamond in 6 years, right? Maybe like 5.5 years, okay? However, from the moment where I made the decision, I went from distributor to Blue Diamond in 9 months. And so I want you guys just to keep in perspective that it doesn't matter where you are right now. A lot of you guys have been doing the business for about a year, maybe 1.5 years at the most for some of you. And so, you have to look at how much have you progressed? How much have you learned? How much have you grown? What are the experiences that you have? And kind of think about where you're at right now as part of the foundation for the rest of your life of success. We're all young here on this call, and we have plenty of time ahead of us. And, the future is just getting brighter and brighter with Nu Skin, right? And they continue to make the opportunity better and better. And so you never want to start thinking that, it's too late, or you've missed the boat, or, you can't do this, because really this business, it's a learned business. It's not a business where it's just like, I can do it, because I have a business background, but Landina can't, or Jen, because she's a teacher, she can't, right? It really doesn't matter. There's people from all different walks of life that are teachers or maids or lawyers or doctors or dentists or salespeople or stay-at-home moms and single moms and people that didn't have much education that have been successful in this business. And so I just want to kind of walk you guys through my roadmap of how, of how I've approached my business and what took me from distributor to Blue Diamond in 9 months. And so I love this quote at the bottom, begin with the end in mind and start with the end outcome and work backwards to make your dream possible. So while we talk today, I want you guys to be writing notes and also be thinking about what is it that your goals are. And that's what I want to talk about on this next slide. Okay, so these are typically the reasons why somebody would participate in a Nu Skin business or do something entrepreneurial outside of working their own 9-to-5 job, right? Because they're looking for extra income or for more free time. They want to have their own business, and they realize this is the best way to have your own business without all the risk of starting a business yourself. For some people, it's early retirement, right? That's a big one for me. I don't want to be working for someone else until I'm 65 years old. Over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, I want to be in a situation where I don't really have to work again in my life unless I want to, right? So leaving a legacy, kids' education, right? Planning for the future. Maybe it's material goals or to travel the world. And so I want you to really get clear about, like, what's the end vision of what you want your life to look like. So I want you guys, take a second and write that down. Take a second and think about that, If your life were perfect, right? If you had achieved all of your goals and your dreams, what would that look like? And sometimes we tend to dream small, right? We think, oh my gosh, I'd love to have, a beach home in Southern California, and I'd love to make $1 million per year, and I'd love to drive, this type of car, or, be able to travel the world, or be at home full time with my kids, or, make this much money. And sometimes we put these big goals and these dreams on paper, but then we start to doubt that we can actually do it, right? So I want you to just forget about your current results, okay? Forget about what's happened in your business the last 3, 6, 9, 12 months, unless you're exactly where you want to be, right? Then keep just moving forward, doing what you're doing. But I want you to think about, what would life look like, and this can be done in different aspects of your life, right? Your relationships, your spirituality, your social life, your physical and health, and other things like that. Okay. So I think it's really important for you guys to get clear on this vision for your life. What are your dreams? And to start to write those down. Okay. So the next step I want to go into is, now we have that vision for your life. We want to set goals. We want to break that down into, okay, if you want to be a Blue Diamond here, making $42,000 per month, what is it going to take to do that? And to actually break that down into steps of what are you going to do on a monthly basis, right? So having monthly volume goals and income goals of what you want to make this month, how much volume you want to do this month. And you can break that down into a weekly goal. Okay, what do I need to accomplish this week to make that happen? And then break that down even more to, okay, what do I need to do consistently on a daily basis? Let's just say if you want to be earning $42,000 per month as a Blue Diamond over the course of, let's just say 3 years, what is it that you need to be doing today and do consistently over the next 3 years to be able to reach that goal? Okay, because what I see a lot of people do is, they kind of they take a break for 3 months, 3 weeks out of the month. then the last week of the month, they work really hard and it's super stressful, and they try to get their 2,000 plus points done in the last few days of the month, and it's extremely stressful for them. And it's just the business isn't designed to be like that. It's designed to be a real business, right? Just like it, as if it were a job. And so maybe you need to set up your own business hours, and I'll talk about this more on the next slide. But so for me, my focus has never been on just signing somebody up, right? I mean, it feels good to sign someone up and get them to do some posts, but my focus has always been on creating executives, and I break down my activity based off of what I need to do to qualify for the next success trip. Okay. So when I sign somebody up, I don't just think about getting them to post. I think about, what does this person need to experience in order to become an executive, right? In order to have enough belief and confidence to say, I'm going to invest my time, my spare time, that I could spend doing other things, other hobbies, spending time with my family, right? Getting someone to the point where they say, okay, I believe in this enough that I'm going to invest my time, and I'm going to put myself out there to build this business, right? To put my name behind this business, and to stand for this, and to believe in this enough to reach my goals. And so, what that looks like is they need to come to an event. They need to see a business presentation. They need to get through a phone call with an upline. They need to, maybe read a book about why network marketing, right? They need to, maybe it's going to take maybe several exposures for them to, for me, it's kind of like a week-long process of this onboarding process, right? Of you get them signed up, get them doing some posts, get them to see a business presentation, talk to them about their goals, explain how the compensation plan works, right? Kind of getting good at showing people how this business model is different from what they're currently doing, and how with this business they can create a leveraged income, and then helping them to gain the confidence in the company, the products, and the business to the point where they can go out and do it, right? So that would be bringing them to an event. If you're in Utah, bring somebody to come see the company, and then use your upline to help get you to help upgrade those people's perspective and their vision and their belief. Okay. So the next thing is, once you do have clear goals, you need to put that into a written statement. We may call this the definite purpose statement. That's something we've talked about here as a team. That's part of the 90-day success journal. So what I would recommend for all of you guys, if you have not yet purchased a 90-day success journal, get one to start off the first 90 days of the year. Because what it's going to do is it's going to help you stay on track and track your progress towards your goals. And it's also going to help you get clear in the beginning with this definite purpose statement. It's going to help you get clear about what your goals are and why you're doing this business. Okay, and the definite purpose statement is basically writing out a vision of where you want to be 1 year from now. And it's something you read out in the present tense as if it's already happened, and it's where you create a clear vision of why you're doing this business and where you want to be. Because the reason why most people quit is because they lose sight of why they started doing this in the first place, right? They start to get discouraged, maybe because some people quit their team, or because they get some rejection, or because they're not having the success they wanted to have yet. And they decide, you know what? This isn't going the way I wanted it to. I'm just going to go back and work my job. And, I like better just having, my normal 9 to 5. I clock in, clock out, go home, don't have to worry about anything. And I like my steady paycheck, and that's fine. If you want to live an average life, right? You're never going to you can pay your bills that way, and you can live a decent life, but you're never going to be able to live a life of freedom, right? You're never going to be able to live a life of, being able to travel when you want to and having complete time freedom to choose every day how you're going to spend your time with your family, and the money to be able to leave a legacy for your family or do those things you want to do. Maybe it's the travel, or it's, the kind of home that you want to have. And so, what you need to do once you create this definite purpose statement, and also create a goal card. I would recommend you guys get a 3x5 goal card. I was taught this by Bob Proctor. and write down your goal and say, I'm so happy and grateful now just put down your pin title goal and your income goal of where you want to be. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Can someone write me and let me know if you can hear me? I'm on like my 5G Wi-Fi network. It's supposed to be really fast, but might just be where I live. Okay, thanks. Okay, so anyway, you create your definite purpose statement, and that's something you read every morning and every night. Okay, and then you visualize doing that. So I'm going to get into that in the next slide. Then you create a goal card, and this is something that's a 3x5 card that you take with you everywhere you go. Right, you have it in your pocket at all times. Every time you put your hand into your pocket, you're going to feel it. Right, you're going to be reminded about, okay, what are my goals? Right, you should put them on your phone. Right, so put those goals on your screensaver for your phone. So every time you see it, you start focusing on it. We know that Nathan Ricks, probably earned in excess of $100 million with Nu Skin. His tagline is consistency and focus. Right, so whatever you focus on is going to expand. And if you focus on why you're doing this, where you're going, it's going to be much easier to push through those hard times. And so what I mean here by program your subconscious mind for success, that also comes from Nathan Ricks. He learned this as a very young man, and it allowed him to achieve, huge goals in his life. And so I'm missing a slide. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here we go. So as far as, I guess I did have those in the right order. Sorry about that. Okay, so once you've got those goals in place, you need to have a plan. So for me, just to kind of tell you guys what I did, my plan was that I was going to reach out to at least 20 people per day. Right, so I'd been around Nu Skin for about 5 years. I'd kind of bounced between distributor and Lapis executive. My highest check that I had made was about $3,500 as far as in a single month in about 5 years, right? I had never qualified for a success trip. Okay, so think about where you are right now, right? You're, maybe struggling to become an executive, or you're still kind of deciding, is this really what I'm going to do? Do I really want to do this? So the 3x5 goal card would be, you have your definite purpose statement. That's more of like a statement. Your goal card is it's more condensed, right? So it would be, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a Ruby executive earning $2,500 per month, right? So it'd be more of like your pin title and your income goal, right? And you carry that around with yourself. Okay, so for me, in April of 2017, we had started to, can you guys hear me now? I apologize. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so for the goal card, your definite purpose statement, that's more of like a written statement that you're going to read out loud morning and night. And your goal card is something you carry with you everywhere. And on that, I would put the pin title goal that you have and your income goal. So I would say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a Ruby executive earning $2,500 per month, right? And carry that around with you. And that way, every time you touch it and feel it, it's going to remind you of your goals. It's going to keep you focused. Okay, and so I was saying now that in April of 2017, I had been with Nu Skin for about 5 years, hadn't had a lot of success, but I saw that people all around the world were having success using social media, selling the toothpaste, right? Sharing this as like a free business opportunity. And, I started to hear some success stories of other people. And I just decided, the fact that other people that I was seeing other people in different parts of the world, like the UK, we had been in a business there for maybe 15 years, but no one had really done much there, right? And then to hear all of a sudden of just like this huge success that people were having, it just gave me this belief. It gave me this like sense of hope again, where I started to believe, you know what, like, okay, this, if this works, I'm just going to go at it with everything that I've got, right? And so I just made the decision that I didn't care who said yes and who said no. And I no longer was going to worry about how long it took me, to reach the goals that I had. Nu Skin had just announced the success trip to South Africa, right? And I was just blown away, so excited about that. And I'd never qualified for a trip, right? So you got to imagine if you're sitting there, I've probably seen 10 success trips come and go, and I had never qualified for one. Right. And so it'd be very easy for me to have this lack of belief that, it's not going to be possible for me to qualify for a trip. However, I just decided to forget about all that and to say, okay, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that I want it to happen, and I'm just going to work as hard as I can every day to achieve these goals that I have. Right. And so I held myself accountable, and I had other people on my team where every single day we would be talking to each other, and they would say, I got my 20, and where are you? And it would be 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night. And the whole day I'd been supporting my team and posting and, training and doing all that stuff. And it'd be 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I'd say, okay, like I got to go do my 20. Right. And I'd sit down, I'd send out, 20 texts or 20, messages on Facebook or Instagram. And it was the consistency of doing that over the period of time where, in April, I became an executive. In May, I became a gold executive. And as an executive that first month in May, I earned over $3,000, right? Average income as an executive is $4,000. I did over 15,000 points worth of sales volume in May. Then in June, I qualified for the South Africa Success Trip, did over 35,000 points of group sales volume, made over $8,000 that month. In the month of July, I became a Emerald executive. In the month of August, we became Diamond executives. And it was really that 5-month period of time where I was like, I was 20, reaching out to 20 people per day. And that doesn't mean I talked to 20 people. Maybe some days I talked to 2, maybe some days I talked to 7. But it was like, because the only thing you can control is your activity. You can't really control what somebody else does. And so I just made that commitment to myself to reach out to 20 people per day. And over the course of doing that for 5 months, that laid a foundation for me where we now had a few other people as qualifying executives, and we recruited some other people over the next few months. And that's what allowed us to get to Blue Diamond over the course of 9 months, right? It was this level of activity. And also starting in April, like in April, around the 20th of April, I really started April 10th. It was around April 20th. They had the company puts on their leadership conference every April. And I just decided that I was going to go to that. I actually bought a ticket to the event, like $100. I bought a plane ticket, $250 from Seattle to Utah. And I was making zero money at the time, and I just decided that I was going to go, right? I had no upline there except for Brent. Brent was there just kind of hanging out. I was by myself for pretty much the whole thing, no team below me. But it was at that event where I heard a lot of success stories of people having success with social selling and social media, and where I got kind of like a blueprint of, okay, here's how to do this. And, it was from that event, I made the commitment that if I really wanted to build my team, I had to attend every event. So I made the commitment to go to every single Teamlet University. Some days, some months, like in the summer months, Kyla and I, we would drive 15 hours. We'd leave on Thursday. We would drive 15 hours. I'd have to get this time off of work. We would drive 15 hours from Seattle to Utah, be there Friday, Saturday, drive back up to Seattle, another 15 hours on Sunday. It was a grind, Sometimes we would fly, and we would fly in early on Friday morning at like a 7 a.m. flight. We wake up at 4 or 5 a.m., fly in, be super tired, go to Teamlet University, fly back out on Sunday. And that cost me flying. I mean, that cost me $500+ per month for plane tickets for both me and Kyla to be able to come out to this event. However, I knew that if I didn't do that, that my team wouldn't go to the events and my business wouldn't grow. And so I made that commitment. Luckily, now we live in Utah, so we don't have to worry about the travel, but it's just as high as a priority now as it was then. And so if you want to build a successful business, we have System 7, right? So you need to create a daily plan for yourself of what kind of activity you're going to do. And then it's the events that are going to help people really see the bigger picture, right? There's no way that you can by yourself duplicate an event, right? And that where you can duplicate the experience someone's going to have listening to dozens of success stories or stories of how people overcame struggles, or hearing from people and seeing the lifestyle that they have, and being surrounded by that environment, that energy. A lot of you guys came to Success Summit, right? And if you hadn't come to some of these big events, then you probably wouldn't be in this business now, because it wouldn't have gone from your head into your heart. And so if you want to get people to stick around long term, you've got to get them to come to these big events. Okay, so make that part of your plan. Okay, so the next thing is, I just made the decision that I was going to really do this. You have to ask yourself, have you really made the decision that you're going to do this business no matter what? And a way to kind of measure that is this quote up here. It says, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. And it says, and Nathan Ricks quoted this the other day. So he said, concerning all acts of initiative and creation, which is part of building a business, right? Something entrepreneurial. There is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. So for me, I could have never foreseen how things were going to work out, right? Like you sitting here right now, you're thinking, okay, 2018 was whatever, right? Okay, let me know when you can hear me again. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so basically the fact that, if you haven't really made a decision that you're going to do this, it's going to be really hard, and it's going to drain lots of your energy, right? If it's like, I'm going to start tomorrow, or I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to start January 1st, or I'm going to start next week, or it's like that can go on for months to years, right? Where you're like, once the busy time at school slows down, I'm going to take action. Or, once I get through the holidays, I'm going to take action, right? I mean, it's just always that procrastinating until you've made a decision that you're like, because all you really have, all we have is this moment right now, right? You can't take action tomorrow, because the only thing you have is right now, this present moment. Because tomorrow you're going to be maybe just as scared to take action as you are today, or there's going to be just as many excuses not to take action tomorrow. The only thing you have is right now, right? And I promise you guys that it can be scary, right, to start your business and start taking action. But I promise once you get in the flow of it, into a routine and a rhythm of working your business on a consistent basis, like for me, starting in April 2017, reaching out to 20 people per day, it took me several weeks before I was like, why isn't this going faster, right? It's a free opportunity. You can make money so easy posting and selling products. Why aren't people just jumping on this like crazy, right? But it was the consistency of me sticking with it. And then it was, a few weeks into that where I really felt like things were starting to take off. So, okay, I stopped Jan's video. I'm not sure what's going on there. Alrighty, so as far as decision goes, people follow committed people, right? People, they watch your actions, right? So your team, it doesn't matter what you tell your team to do, they're going to do what they see you do, right? So if you're saying, hey, go work hard, go talk to 3 new people per day, go sign people up, go post about products, but if they don't see you doing that, then they're not going to do it. Okay, so the decision, that just once you make that decision, how you've really made a decision is if your actions change, right? If you actually take action on your goals, right? If you say, okay, I've made a decision, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's going to come and you're going to have to make that decision again, because if you say, I'm making that decision to start tomorrow or to start on Monday or to start February 1st, then, you're not making a decision. You're just postponing it. You're trying to you get this false sense of security saying, I am going to take action on my goals, but I'm just going to do it later. And then another month goes by and 6 months goes by and a year goes by and you're not where you want to be, right? And you've got your spouse saying, when are you ever going to take that thing seriously? Are you ever going to really do this, right? And you haven't kept those commitments you've made to yourself and you made to other people. And when you keep procrastinating and putting that off, it really hurts your self-image, right? It hurts because you're not fulfilling your commitments to yourself. And so you start to not really believe that you're worthy and deserving of the success that you want, okay? The next thing is belief, right? We all have a self-image, okay? I just got through 3 to 4 months of studying the power of our self-image being taught by Bob Proctor and his, consultants and going through one of his programs. And so everything that you're experiencing in your life is a result of your self-image, of how you see yourself. So let me make an example. Your self-image is like a thermostat. So if you don't see yourself as a successful leader, right? If you maybe see yourself, your self-image, think about the results you're currently getting. Okay. Let's just say you're making $300 per month in your business. You're an executive. Maybe it's been tough for you to maintain yourself as an executive. Maybe you don't really have a team going on, or your team growing the way you want it to. And what happens is, let's just say if you go out and if you start taking lots of action, super consistent, right? You grow your business, you make $1,000 check. But if you don't change that inner self-image on a subconscious level, what's going to happen is you're going to self-sabotage and come back down to what you truly believe that you deserve. And so whatever you're experiencing in your business right now, it's most likely what you actually believe that you deserve. Okay, so how do you actually create a new self-image? How do you change the way you see yourself, right? Because we know you have to be a blue diamond mentally first before you get there physically. Okay, and this is done through the principle that's taught in Think and Grow Rich called auto-suggestion. Okay, and so I'm going to send out a YouTube video that explains how this whole self-image thing works and how you actually change it. This is how you change it, okay? This is from Bob Proctor. He was in the movie The Secret. He's been teaching personal development, law of attraction, principles of personal development for 50 plus years. So he says, the great poets and philosophers of the past told us many times we can have anything we set our mind to. Here's how you do it. Decide what you want, right? Write a written statement indicating that you're already in possession of your desire. Repeat the statement aloud several times a day with a strong feeling of gratitude and expect to see the desire materialize in your physical world and have faith that it's coming. When you follow these steps to the T, you deposit an image of what you want in the treasury of your subconscious mind. You give it the energy it needs to materialize through you. And Bob's business partner, Sandy Gallagher, says, the beauty of the process is that you don't have to know how to get what you want. All the writings, teachings, and demonstrations throughout time indicate the how is irrelevant. What matters is how you think and feel. By thinking about what you want in the present tense, right, as I talked about earlier, creating that vision of what you want your life to be, writing it down, and by writing it down in the present tense as if it's already happened, having positive feelings and taking one step at a time, the how will take care of itself. So take a few minutes today to think of something you truly want to be, do, or have, and then follow those steps. As you write it down, think about how you'll feel when you have it. Actually feel the feelings. Hold these positive feelings as you read your statement throughout the day, and you can rest assured that your desire is on its way. So in that period of time, when I went from distributor to Blue Diamond, I was 100% consistent doing this every day. Every morning, the first thing I did when I woke up is I went and I looked at myself in the mirror and I read this statement, and I said out loud with as much energy and emotion as I could muster this statement, right? I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a team lead executive in Nu Skin earning $50,000 per month, right? That's what I said to myself over and over, along with other things. And I would do that until I felt so on fire inside that every ounce of doubt and disbelief was gone. And you know what? There were some days where it would take me 10 minutes of looking at myself to get me to actually start doing this, right? You start picking at your face, start plucking your eyebrows, right? Start, getting distracted, checking your messages. And, but it was doing this that allowed me to change my self-image to start to actually see myself as a blue diamond. And once you do that with the repetition of affirmations, right? We learn in Think and Grow Rich that you can only achieve something if you believe you can do it. It can't be a hope or a wish, it has to be belief. And the only way to create that belief is through the repetition of affirmations of your subconscious mind and mixing that with emotion, okay? So this is probably the most important piece to all of it. Like this right here, changing your self-image, creating that vision of what you want your life to be, and visualizing that, getting emotionally involved. So I would recommend 3 times a day for 20 minutes, morning, afternoon, and evening. First thing when you wake up in the morning, I'll send a new link out. First thing in the morning, last thing at night, doing this over and over and over. That's how you change your self-image so you can start attracting different results into your life. And the last thing is consistency, right? Is being consistent, working your business every day, right? So Rome wasn't built in a day. And if you want to be a blue diamond or team elite, you need to be consistent over a course of months to years if you want that to happen in your life, right? There's not one multi-million-dollar earner in Nu Skin that worked hard for just 6 months and then they were done, or they worked hard for just a few days at the end of the month and they built this successful business, right? It was being consistent day in and day out and building those muscles, right? Treating it like a real business, just like you would if this were a business, your own, traditional business, or as if it were a job. And so in summary, it's that making the decision, it's the belief, and it's the consistency, and also working on yourself, your personal development to change how you see yourself and that self-image to really see yourself as the person you want to be, living the life that you want to live. And so with that, I think this is about to cut us off. I'm going to send out a new link and we can just